Teresa Younkin, and I just want to thank you for showing up for my very first live. Oh wow, that's just something new that just popped up on Facebook about having people join you live on your call. So maybe we can incorporate that the next time that we get together. But hey, I just want to let you know that I'm a leadership coach and consultant and wanted to reach out to people because it's really hard in this remote world and we all seem to be struggling a little bit. So what do? I help managers transform their leadership journey so that they go from being managers to leaders and making that journey just not okay, but really impactful as they become integrators, translators, guides, and they coach their teams so that their teams can actually move projects forward with some momentum and clarity, right? We get stuck in these ruts, and it's really hard in this remote world to really get people going. So I am coming to you every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I call these conversations from my couch because I literally am on my couch looking out the window, and it's great. Why the couch? In every one of my in every single one of my offices, I have a couch because sometimes as leaders, right, like we're managers, sometimes we lead, sometimes we act as therapists. So for me, it's like this is my therapy couch. But anyways, so the purpose of these lives is to really just answer your questions on leadership and leadership coaching, because I will tell you that in an HBR Harvard Business Review article, there are about 60% of people think that they're great coaches, and then others, there's 60% who think that they're great coaches, and they say that they are, and when it gets down to it, their colleagues are telling them they're probably ranking in the bottom third. So there's a huge disconnect between what coaching, what managers and what leaders think coaching is and what it actually truly is. So, today let's talk about the three biggest mistakes that leaders make. Number one, they criticize, they don't coach. And it doesn't mean that you mean to be critical, but it's received as critical. So we need to be very careful when we're talking to people, making statements like, what do you think about blah? Really puts people on the defensive because they feel like you're talking at them and not talking with them. So being careful not to criticize. So that's number one. Number two, many of us executives have actually had coaching, like we've experienced coaching. Our organizations know that this is a great return on investment. And so they send us to coaches. What I see the mistake and when I see things happening or where it starts to go bad is that people are taking individual coaching techniques and trying to apply it to a team. Those are two highly different things. Coaching a team is much different than coaching an individual. An individual is to help them find within themselves some sort of movement. When you're coaching a team, it's really about getting everybody to work at the top of their skill set together to move their project forward collaboratively. So you need to be finding wins for everybody on the team, not just that one person. There's not a whole lot of internal self-reflection that goes on in team coaching. So big difference. And when you realize that, then you try not to make mistake number one of criticizing, right? Number three, and this is the number one mistake most leaders make when they're coaching. They don't ask their teams to join them on this journey. So this is 9 times out of 10 what happens. Executives say, hey, you know what? It's more profitable for us to keep an employee than it is to send them out, for us to lose them, right? The turnover costs, I don't know, I read somewhere like $17,000 it cost organizations to replace an employee. Whereas if we can keep them and retain them, we're not having to incur that cost over again, especially when you have areas where you have a lot of turnaround. And when these initiatives come down from executive level, what normally happens is that they say, okay, we're going to institute coaching. We want you all to start coaching your teams. So you get a seminar, you get a 2-day seminar where you go and somebody teaches you the strategies behind it and they send you home with no plan. So you're like, what's going on? How am I going to do this? You get fired up because you see the promise in it and you jump right in. And the third thing is that you're like, okay, well, what does that mean? I'm going to lean back on what I've done before, right? Okay. So, it can go horribly, horribly bad. I mean, I've been a victim of that. I've had it happen to me. I've watched it happen in organizations. When people hire me, I usually come in and I'm the fixer of those types of things, because when we come in to, this coaching mentality and that we're going to do it, a lot of times we don't ask permission to do it from our employees, right? They're our employees, so they're just supposed to do what we say. But unfortunately, coaching is a relationship. It does take time. And the most important thing that you're going to want to do is to try to build some know, like, and trust. I mean, they need to know you, they need to like you, and they need to trust you to enter that relationship. So I coach a lot of leaders. I go in organizations and help leaders move projects forward that get stuck because they've been directing projects, leading very authoritatively, and not using coaching as a method to get people to collaborate and to cooperate together. Those are the 3 big mistakes. Once again, the 3 biggest mistakes: criticizing, not coaching, coaching individuals, coaching a team like it's an individual, not going to work, and not asking people to join you on the journey. So, if you want to learn a little bit more about it, or you want to take that first step of coaching and you want to know how do you do this the right way, there'll be a link at the bottom in the comments here that you can go to and download a freebie from me. And it's called the 7 action steps every manager needs to take to have a successful coaching experience. And it just walks you through the 7 things that you really need to know and that you need to be focused on, right? You don't want to have missing pieces. And as leaders, we have learned so much and we've got so much in our heads. We have all the pieces, but putting them together can be a little bit of a challenge, especially if you don't have a blueprint or like an action plan to work forward. So if you go to the link down there, or you can go to realsmartmethod.com. That's realsmartmethod.com. If you got there, you can press a button and download it there, and you'll get that as well. So that's all I had for today. It was really nice to see you guys, and I truly hope to see you again next Wednesday. Hey, if you're watching this in the replay, do me a favor and put replay in the comments so that I know, because I'll be back here every Wednesday. I also invite you is that, number one, if you've got any questions at all about leadership or leadership coaching, please drop them down in the comments, or you can DM me directly on the page, and I'll be back next Wednesday with some answers. So you guys take care. I will catch you on the flip side. Peace.